This video is about how to use Ubuntu Linux VMware image with Informatica Power Center Standard Edition server and Oracle 11g XE database installed and configured. The VMware image doesn't have the Informatica client installed and needs to be installed on your Windows machine. You can find other details about the image in the URL shown on screen. The VMware image mainly intended for Informatica Power Center educational, demo and evaluation purposes. You will get a downloadable link, valid for 1 month, once you paid and send the payment screenshot to peterakkumala@gmail.com. The link contains a info_Oracle XE_VMware directory with 4 files showed on the screen. You need to download all 4 files and move them to a directory something like Informatica_Oracle XE_Ubuntu 64. And extract the RAR files in the same directory. After extraction, you should have the VMware image files as shown on the screen and save the RAR files in a separate directory for future use in case your VMware image is corrupted. You need to download and install VMware Workstation, is not a freeware, or VMware Player, is a freeware. That's shown on the screen. Click on the VMware Workstation or Player icon that exists on your desktop or from all programs. I am going to demonstrate how to use the VMware images with VMware Player. Click on Open a Virtual Machine to open the VMware image that you have extracted. And then browse to the Informatica_Oracle XE_Ubuntu 64 directory and choose VMX file and then click on Open. You now have opened the VMware image and could see Informatica_Oracle XE_Ubuntu 64 under Home. Click on Play Virtual Machine to start the VMware image and to log in. Click on I copied it if prompted, as it may happen for the first time, and wait till you see the login window, which might take a couple of minutes. This is the login window to get into the Ubuntu Linux machine. Info_Oracl is the host name of the machine. Here is the power options to shut down the machine or to restart the machine. This is full screen button, but you need to log into the machine to have the full screen view. There are 3 users available with this image and usernames and passwords are as shown on the screen. Log into Linux machine with InfoUser and its password to start working with the Linux machine. You are successfully logged into the machine. Please ignore this error if prompted. This is the desktop and the left pane contains the various tools, icons for easy access. This is the terminal window that you are going to use frequently to run shell commands, execute scripts and to change directories and access files. You need to get IP address of the Linux machine by running ifconfig command in the terminal window. You need to add the Linux IP address with hostname in the Windows hosts file located at c:/windows/system30 to /drivers/etc. directory to access the Oracle XE database, Informatica Administrator, Informatica repository and to access the Linux machine with buddy in the Windows machine itself. It's always a good practice to check Linux IP address and IP address in the Windows host file are matching so that the Linux components can be accessed in Windows without any issues. When the Linux machine is started or rebooted, Oracle XE database instance will be started automatically. It's better to check Oracle database instances running before starting the Informatica services so that Informatica services start without any issues. You will see many processes running with Oracle user when Oracle XE database started successfully. As you can see Oracle XE database instances running, it's good to start Informatica services. Go to desktop by typing cd/home/info/desktop/startup/script/and run /start_env-services.sh to start the Informatica services. Please note down the commands shown on screen to use to start the Informatica services. After running the script, you can wait for 3 to 4 minutes to have the Informatica services come up completely. Now type ps-f pipe grep info home in the terminal. If all Informatica services started successfully, you would see the 4 processes running. You can now connect to Informatica Administrator from the Linux machine or Windows with any browser pointing to info.orcl:6008. Enter the username administrator and password is also administrator and click on Login. You would see repository service repo_etl and integration service etl_and_service running with green tick mark. As you can see, Informatica services started successfully. You can now configure the domain with the PowerCenter clients. Open the PowerCenter Repository Manager client tool to configure the domain and to create the folder in repo_etl repository. Please follow the steps carefully to configure the domain. You have seen how to configure the domain in the PowerCenter client tools and how to create folder. You can now start creating Informatica objects such as sources, targets, mappings, sessions, workflows and so on by logging to other client tools such as Designer and Workflow Manager. You are now going to see how to connect Linux Oracle XE database instance in Windows by adding the XE database DNS names to the existing Oracle client or server DNS names file in your Windows. Please note down the paths to view the Linux DNS names details shown on the screen. You are going to see how to use SQL Developer tool to access Linux XE database inside Linux machine in case you don't have Oracle client or server installed on your Windows machine. You need to change to root user to open SQL Developer tool. Enter in the user password when you run sudo su- to become root user. Please follow the steps how to work with SQL Developer in Linux machine. Please remember the XE database users and passwords as shown on the screen. Finally, one important note is that Linux machine IP address may change when the Linux machine is started or rebooted, so you need to make sure Linux machine IP address is matching with Windows host's file IP address to connect Oracle database and PowerCenter repository from client tools in Windows. You have successfully learned how to use the VMware image to explore Informatica PowerCenter and Oracle database in Linux machine. You really don't have to spend time for installing and configuring Linux, Oracle and PowerCenter. You have all required tools in your hands. So start learning Informatica PowerCenter with VMware image. Happy learning. Thank you.